Hot tags.
Hot tags,
Teabags.
everybody, hot tags. We're in part 2 here. Weekly topics that have happened in wrestling. We have 4 that we're going to talk about this week. Number 1, referee Charles Robinson almost lost his finger. He was setting up one of the rings on one of their recent tours. I don't think it was like a Raw or SmackDown episode. I think it was just like a house show. And something went awry, and he got cut up pretty damn bad. I saw pictures of it online. You could tell that's a deep, deep cut. So good thing that it was just enough that he was able to keep that and they got it all stitched up and everything like that. So that's cool. But man, that's gotta suck. Especially for somebody like a referee where you gotta use your hands constantly. You're always slapping the mat and all that. I guess he's gonna take a little bit of time off, or he's gonna just become like ambidextrous and just start using his other hands and stuff. So let's go around here. Wego, what do you think about this story?
I hope he just has to count the falls with his face now.
Just headbutting it.
Yeah.
Totally. It's just like, guys, can you go for more submissions? I'm really getting lightheaded here.
That sucks. It happens. If anyone's set up a ring before, you know how clunky the setup can be. So, yeah, here's what it is.
Drew?
Why did they have a referee setting up the ring?
Referees and other people set up the ring all the time.
Yeah, the production and the referees, that's actually part of the job role. It's not just refereeing.
Man, that sucks.
They're like the nurses equivalent to doctors. Like they do tons of work and get like none of the credit for it.
Man.
Well, yeah, I even think Tony Chimmel was on the ring crew.
Really? Huh. Well, guess what? I think it's time for him to find something else to do. Rest in peace.
That was very underwhelming.
Right. I'm expecting it to be something else. It's like getting built up. Yeah. So I guess that sucks. That's how it Miguel, what do you think about Charles Robinson almost losing his finger?
Thank you, Drew. It's unfortunate. I mean, it's nice that he didn't lose it, but, you know, you hate to have that happen to anybody, especially, you know, a referee who, like you said, needs his hand. So thankfully he didn't lose his hand.
John?
I think a four-finger referee would be quite interesting, don't you, Tony?
Robin Leach voice is so weird. Or this is going to be lifestyles of the Smark moment at the end of this. Peyton, your thoughts on the story?
This is the news we're talking about? Like, really?
Yeah.
I mean, that's an unfortunate story.
Thank you for sounding that out.
That sucks. It's something.
He barely has anything to talk about on this topic, so he's just trying to stretch all his words out.
Next topic, Daniel Bryan's father passed away, unfortunately. Whenever we talk about this stuff, we usually have the same stuff to say, but it's always nice to say it as well. Condolences to his friends and family and everybody like that. That really sucks. It's a shame that it happened right around this time, but I would assume that he got to witness WrestleMania and he got to be a part of the wedding and all that. So if that's the case, then at least he got to do that ahead of time. Wego?
Shows where my head is when I'm thinking about Daniel Bryan getting the news and I'm imagining him going, no. But yeah, sucks, and hats off to him for still performing on Raw.
Drew?
Yeah, it's always a terrible story, and I'm about to say the same thing I said the past 10 times someone died. You know, it's just one of those sad things. You just hope that the D-bag can come back out and, you know, don't get fuck. Now I sound like an asshole, but you know, hopefully Daniel can, you know.
Was that meant to be the D-boy?
No, I said D-bag just to say. I wasn't really thinking. I was just saying it. Can I please continue? I'm trying to be 100% serious. Okay, 1B, 2B. And anyways, it is it's very sad. Next.
Bail out, Drew. Bail
And
out.
shut up, Miguel.
Your turn, Miguel.
I don't think I could really add much to this, like just repeating the sentiments that everybody else has. You know, it's unfortunate. You know, hopefully things get better for him. It was nice to see him on Raw, you know, doing the deed and, you know, things like that. So best of luck to Bryan.
Sean?
As somebody who's lost a dad, I'm surprised he was out on Raw. And yeah, he's very strong for doing that. And this is me being serious. And yeah. It's a very sad moment in his life, and I hope he gets through it.
think it's some bullshit that they didn't have one of those little vignetted pictures at the beginning of the show for Daniel Bryan's dad. But yeah, at least it wasn't Mrs. Dad.
Oh no, that would have been heartbreaking.
Did they ever show Daniel Bryan's dad at all?
I don't remember them ever showing him. They showed his sister at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And his niece, and I think they showed his mom on Total Divas. I don't remember his dad ever being a part of anything.
It's probably ugly.
No, he can't be any uglier.
I'm sorry, he was ugly.
God damn it.
There's some kind of a Kofi Kingston's dad joke in here. They're tied back into before, but I can't think of it off the top of my head. Kevin Nash and Roddy Piper had a Twitter argument this week, apparently over something that happened at WCW, where Piper was saying that he did like a leg sweep to Kevin Nash, and Nash said he kicked his ass or something like that, and maybe it blew over and they're okay now, maybe not. It just sort of popped up and then went away, so I don't really know the story behind it, but hey, we always try to talk about that kind of stuff, so tagging you in, Steven.
When you said maybe it blew over, I thought you was going to say maybe it blew Nash's quad. I have no idea about this, but Twitter arguments are funny as hell because neither side of it comes out looking good, so I'm going to go back and laugh.
Drew?
You said this was from WCW?
Something that happened backstage there.
Who
I forget when they said.
The fuck cares at this? This is like 20 years ago. Who the fuck cares about this? Why even fuck? I don't even care. This is a fuck. Go, Miguel. I'm tagging you in.
Hashtag slow news day.
Sean?
I don't particularly care about either of these two wankers.
This is golden.
And Peyton?
Twitter?
Yes, Twitter.
Yes.
What? Twitter? What's this?
When are we going to talk about wrestling?
What's wrestling?
When are we going to talk about actual wrestlers and wrestling? We're talking about like woodshop accidents and freaking Twitter wars.
What are you talking about? This is TMZ. Come on, it's TMZ now.
Well,
Yeah,
better
part
than
two,
TNA.
Oh God! Well, TNA is our next thing. Christopher Daniels.
You asked for it, Peyton.
Christopher Daniels has left TNA. They kind of assumed that was going to happen. He didn't want to take a pay cut, and it's one more person that TNA loses that they were depending on. So, God damn it, TNA. Way go.
To be quite honest, I don't think Christopher Daniels has really much to contribute anymore. He's just kind of getting up there, and he's not done anything interesting in God knows how long. So TNA is going to be fine without them, and hats off to Daniels, I guess, for naming his price. I mean, if he doesn't want to take a pay cut and he knows what he's worth, then go somewhere else.
To be fair, can they be fine without him if they're not fine with him?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. So, shit, they're probably better off without him then if they just need to cut people's contracts down.
Drew?
He's probably not going to get a job in WWE, so, have fun washing tables and that kind of stuff in a few years, because, that TNA paycheck, there's a lot nowadays, you know what I mean, fella?
I don't know, most of the TNA roster work at Walmart.
What was
Yeah,
the random
Jeff
Sheamus at the end?
With Miguel. Miguel, how's the TNA roster working with you?
I don't know. They've been paying me all right. Haven't heard I'm the Legends champion. That's why it hasn't been defended in several years.
Oh man, dude, are you like Zack Ryder?
Yeah, I've got the internet belt also in my closet.
Well, Miguel, what do you think about Christopher Daniels leaving?
It's unfortunate, one more solid worker that they had kind of out the door. Their roster is just shrinking down to the point of irrelevancy at this point. I mean, I'd love to be here and defend them, but it's just I'm waiting for the inevitable. I know we say this every year about them, but I honestly don't see them lasting very long.
Sean?
At this point, it's going to get to when Mike Tenay wrestles a chair.
What?
I can't even understand you with this new accent now.
Peyton, end the segment for us.
End it with fire.
Put us out of our misery.
Who cares? Who cares? Who's even watching TNA anymore? Even when I did watch TNA, I had to say Christopher Daniels was one of my least interested guys for me to watch. I remember when he left, I think it was back in like 2007, 2008. I was like, yes, good. I don't have to deal with this guy anymore. Certainly not going to be picked up by WWE, and I don't think he's going to find good money too many other places unless maybe Jeff Jarrett wants to give him a healthy paycheck. But if not, then maybe he could talk to a fellow bald-headed generic wrestler dude who failed by talking to Justin Credible and getting a job with him at Olive Garden.
It's funny how we're not even factoring ROH into this equation, even though he was working there before he went back to TNA.
Yeah, if he wants money, Ring of Honor is not the place to go.
Well, staying with TNA isn't either. So that's either way, he's making either the same path or possibly a little bit up.
No, I mean, it just gets to a point where you're only going to make money in WWE, and either you're going to make it there or you don't. And he's getting up there. Yeah, you can make it in there at an old age, but it gets tougher and tougher. And if they're not giving him any looks now, he's probably not going to make it there. So he's still got enough years in his life where he can look for another career and go into something else. Maybe that's the best choice for him.
Hayden's definitely right. To make money on the independent wrestling circuit, you need to be practically wrestling every fucking night. And shit, the WWE schedule's tough, but at least you get your money there. You're working for a couple hundred a night sometimes, if that. So it is. Hayden's definitely right. He needs to look for a new career.
All right, guys, we're going to take a little bit of a break and go to the rest hold in part 3, and we're going to come back and start talking about all the monthly mailbag and top rope list nonsense.